Now this was legit me at 3 AM in the morning. The bloody morning. No word of a lie, but I just don't know what I feel. Am I happy? Am I sad? I mean, we got 5 new champions. The bloody Hardy Boys are back. But it looks like Undertaker's retired. What has happened? Now, I'm commemorating the Undertaker today with my Undertaker t-shirt, but what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the whole of WrestleMania 33. Bloody hell. It's going to take us quite a while, because that show was about 7 or 8 hours. It was bloody long, but anyway, let's get into it. Let's do this. Right, I'm going to be honest. I went into this not really expecting much, but it was actually pretty decent. It was pretty decent. It's going to get an 8 out of 10 from me, which is actually pretty high. I thought this show was decent. It was decent. Alright, I'm going to spend about 30 seconds on the pre-show, because that's about as much as it deserves. Austin Aries against Neville was fucking insane. That match was awesome. It was very, very good. I kind of wanted Austin Aries to win the championship, but I don't really care, because Neville's awesome anyway. Great match. Shame the other 2 matches weren't as good as this on the pre-show. I mean, the Battle Royal was crap. Thought that was a load of shite. Mojo Rawley, of all people, won the Battle Royal. Does that mean anything? It slowly becomes the most pointless match every year at WrestleMania. The Battle Royal is a load of shite, and if you didn't realise it before, you now do know, because Mojo Rawley won it this year. I mean, I don't even know the person who helped him. It's like an NFL player or something like that. I really didn't care. It should have been either Sami Zayn or Braun Strowman that got the cheeky win here, but Mojo Rawley, what are you doing, mate? What are you actually doing? And then for some reason, we got the Intercontinental Championship match on the pre-show. Michael Cole goes, it's one of the most prestigious titles in the WWE, and then says, it's on the bloody pre-show. What are you doing, mate? It's the most prestigious championship, so it's on the pre-show. What the hell's that all about? And it wasn't even that good. It wasn't that good at all. Dean Ambrose is still champion as well. Don't really know what that's about. Baron Corbin should have won the belt here, definitely. I don't know what happened there. He definitely should have won. Alright, so I don't think they could have started WrestleMania with a better match. AJ Styles against Shane McMahon. Some of you people didn't even want to see this match. What are you doing? This match was freaking awesome. I always knew it was going to be awesome, because AJ Styles can't have a bad match against anybody, especially at WrestleMania. Shane McMahon was awesome. AJ Styles was phenomenal, but he always is. This was just insane. It was really, really good. What a freaking way to start the pay-per-view. Now, I think one of the best spots of the night was when AJ Styles went for the 450 splash and Shane McMahon reversed it into the triangle choke. That was pretty bloody decent. Now, for some reason, the referee was down on the floor for about 10 minutes because of a Pele kick from AJ Styles. That was quite a nice setup, because it kind of came out of nowhere, but shit really went down when he hit that Pele kick on the referee. So Shane McMahon ended up going through the announcers table. AJ Styles tried to do the coast to coast, which would have been pretty awesome to see. Shane McMahon then did the coast to coast. Who does he think he is? And then he went for the fucking shooting star press. Oh god, what is he doing? What is he doing? This was actually awesome. It was really good. Now, AJ Styles actually won, which is great, because he definitely should have won, because he didn't win at last year's WrestleMania, which I'm still pretty salty about, but finally, he gets a win at WrestleMania, and what a match to start the pay-per-view. Yeah, I'm not really sure about this match. Kevin Owens against Chris Jericho for the United States Championship. This match should have been for the Universal Championship, and ever since we found out it wasn't going to be for the Universal Championship, it just went downhill from then. It just went tits up, didn't it? Because this match just got a little bit forgotten about, and it was looking like one of the most exciting matches going into WrestleMania, and it just wasn't that good. I mean, it was alright. It never really felt like it got going, and it was for the United States Championship instead of the Universal Championship. It just wasn't that exciting. Now, I know we got a new champion in Kevin Owens, but they could have put on a better match. I mean, I don't know what was up. It could have been better. So Kevin Owens wins with the pop-up powerbomb on the apron, which I thought was a bit of a weird finish, because he ends up dragging him in the ring and then pinning him, and that was that. It felt a bit weird. The Fatal 4-Way Elimination Women's Raw Championship match. What a mouthful that bloody well is. But Sasha Banks against the champion Bayley against Nia Jax against Charlotte. I thought this was nice and dandy, but the endings were just a bit weird. I mean, Nia Jax got eliminated like pretty bloody quickly. I was quite a fan of that triple T move on Nia Jax though, where Sasha Banks and Bayley suplexed her, while Charlotte hit a big boot to Nia Jax's face. That was bloody brilliant. And also, I loved it when Nia Jax threw one of them off the apron and she crashed into the other two. That was pretty decent as well, but at the end of the day, it also felt a bit weird. I mean, Nia Jax got eliminated pretty quickly considering she's supposed to be a beast. Sasha Banks went pretty quickly as well, and then Bayley won with an elbow off the top rope. What's all that about? Since when was Bayley's finisher an elbow off the top rope, especially at WrestleMania? We didn't even see a Bayley to belly suplex. What is all that about? I don't really know. It just all ended a little bit too quickly. I mean, it was nice paced. It was interesting, it was slightly exciting, but at the end of the day, I don't really feel like anything's really changed in the women's division, and it didn't really do a lot. It didn't really do a lot. It felt a bit rushed. Now, Bayley is still the women's champion. We didn't get a Sasha Banks heel turn, which would have been kind of alright. Now, it's good that they didn't put the belt back on Charlotte, because they might have been tempted to do that, because that's what they always seem to do, but they didn't, because that would have taken us back to square one. They didn't turn Sasha Banks heel, which is slightly disappointing. She might do it tonight. Nia Jax didn't pick up the championship, which is kind of good, because she can't really wrestle that much. I'm not really a huge fan of Nia Jax, and Bayley is still champion, which is alright. Holy fucking shit. We've got to the ladder match, boys. We've got to the bloody ladder match. Holy shit. The Hardy Boys are back. And I don't think they could have done it in a better way either. Now, we found out on Monday Night Raw that it was going to be a ladder match, and my spidey senses started tingling that the Hardy Boys, this is just too much of a coincidence for the Hardy Boys not to come at WrestleMania in the ladder match. And you knew as soon as the New Day's music hit, that's what was going down. And it would have been rude not to have the Hardy Boys in this ladder match for the tag team titles. Holy shit, that was probably the best return you're ever going to get. At WrestleMania, winning the tag team champions, the Hardy Boys are back, bitches. Broken Matt Hardy is here. Holy fucking shit. Matt Hardy did a twist of fate off the ladder, and to top it all off, Jeff Hardy did a swanton bomb off one of the biggest ladders I've ever seen. Greatest return you're ever going to see back to the WWE. The back on Monday Night Raw, it's going to be fucking insane. I mean, I was dancing at 2 AM in the morning, and not a lot of stuff in wrestling gets me doing that, I have you say. But there you go, that was fucking insane. So yeah, Gallows and Anderson haven't really been that impressive as tag team champions. The match wasn't really built up around Enzo and Cass, so I didn't really think they were going to win the tag team titles. And Sheamus and Cesaro, we've seen that and done it all before, so I think the Hardy Boys have just bloody mixed things up, and it should be pretty decent. Does it get much better than that? I don't think it does. There's not really many words you can say, really. That was probably one of the best WrestleMania moments you're ever going to get. Now, John Cena did get his WrestleMania moment, proposing to Nikki Bella. Honestly, for me, I don't really give a shit. I don't really give a shit. And the match wasn't great either. I mean, this had Miz all over it. He should have won this match. He has been one of the best things about SmackDown Live since it became bloody SmackDown Live. But John Cena always wins at WrestleMania. And I mean, I suppose he did have to win to set up the proposal, but just wasn't a very good match, was it? I mean, I kind of felt like we'd seen this match on SmackDown Live. I mean, they had that crappy finish with the AA and Nikki Bella's TKO that they've done on SmackDown about twice already. Just didn't feel that special. Didn't feel that special. And then he did the proposal. It was a bit cringe. I didn't really care. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of it's not fair, is it? I mean, for all the hard work Miz has done this year, he still isn't booked to beat John Cena at WrestleMania. What's all that about? I mean, this match was shite. It was pure shite. I mean, we've seen better matches on SmackDown Live last week. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. Seth Rollins against Triple H was actually pretty decent. I mean, it was pretty slow. It took a long time to get into it, but when it did get going, it was pretty good. I really loved when Seth Rollins accidentally got the sledgehammer from under the apron and he didn't realise he was pulling the wires and the sledgehammer just like sort of crept out under the apron, and you know shit was going down when Triple H got hold of that sledgehammer. That was a pretty cool moment, but the best moment of the match was when Seth Rollins drop-kicked Triple H into Stephanie, who went through the table. That just took me by surprise. I was like, what? I knew the table was there for a reason, but I sort of forgot about it for a little bit, and then the next minute, she's flown through the table. I mean, props to Stephanie McMahon. She took a spear from Roman last year. This year, she goes for a bloody table. She does what she wants, that kid. That was a pretty decent match, and Seth Rollins finally gets a win at WrestleMania. That was pretty good. He hits the pedigree. I mean, it would have been cool to bring the curb stomp back just for one night. I mean, that would have been a bit cheeky, but there you go. At least Triple H didn't put himself over like he always does. And a pretty cool entrances. He comes down on that huge-ass bike. That was quite cool. It looked pretty epic. And then Seth Rollins comes out with a stick on fire and sets the ground on fire. That looked pretty cool, didn't it? So there you go. It was about time Seth Rollins got a big win. And it was his return match as well, I suppose. But where was Samoa Joe? Where was Finn Balor? I mean, it was a non-sanctioned match, so shit could have gone down. Samoa Joe could have come to help. Wasn't even on the pay-per-view. And then Finn Balor could have come to help Seth Rollins. Wasn't even on the pay-per-view. Hopefully, he's on Raw tonight. Randy Orton against Bray Wyatt. I've seen a lot of negative comments about this match. I don't even know what's really that wrong with it. I mean, the ending was a bit weird, but apart from that, I quite like the pace. I like the psychology going on. I love the things above the ring with the worms and the maggots and the crickets. That was bloody cool. Bray Wyatt does what he wants. He's a god after all. Some people aren't too happy that Bray Wyatt's dropped the title after about a month, but this was always the story, that Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton was waiting on Bray Wyatt for months and months to get that championship, and he finally did it last night at WrestleMania. But what do you guys think about Randy Orton being the world champion on SmackDown Live? Are we sort of taking a step back from the new era and going back to Randy Orton? Is Randy Orton still an exciting WWE champion? Who knows? For me, it was an alright match. It just kind of felt like the ending was a bit strange. It was like, well, Randy Orton's done some great RKOs down the years, especially at WrestleMania. And then he just did a random normal RKO, and that was that. Pretty bloody uninteresting. Right, the main event, which wasn't the main event. Brocky Lesnar against Goldberg. This was probably the second best match of the night between... This was actually pretty decent, and at least it wasn't 1 minute long like the last match. I mean, I quite like this match. I mean, how much energy do you want to put in one match at WrestleMania? And this is exactly what it had. I mean, it was pretty awesome. I mean, I loved the first spear by Goldberg, because the camera pans to Brock Lesnar, you think he's fine and dandy. Next minute, he gets hit by a bloody spear, then another spear on the outside, then another spear, and then Goldberg goes for another spear, suplexes everywhere, and then Brock Lesnar does this huge-ass leap out of nowhere. F5, new Universal Champion. I mean, this was awesome, because you just didn't know which way it was going to go. If you blinked, you would have missed it. I mean, you just couldn't stop watching. You just felt like the match could end any second, and thankfully it went on for like 4 or 5 minutes, and it was good. It was really good. I've never felt a match with so much energy and so much sort of intensity and like, holy shit, this could end at any moment. It was good. Now, some people are kind of questioning the fact that he only used one F5, which I kind of see your point a little bit. One F5? Really? That's not a lot, but yeah, we've got a new Universal Champion. Goldberg has been a weird champion, and Brock Lesnar is legitimate. He's going to be a decent Universal Champion. I mean, he's probably not going to be there for about another few months, but at least he's a legitimate champion. Brock Lesnar, the new Universal Champion, to top things off at WrestleMania. I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, SmackDown Live Women's Championship on the line. We had Naomi defeating the champion Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Natalya, and Becky Lynch. I'm looking over there because I just can never remember who's in this match. So Naomi wins, which was pretty predictable. This match felt a little bit rushed. It wasn't very long at all. It was about 5 minutes. It was a bit obvious Naomi was going to win because she was the champion before she got injured. So it was obvious they wanted to put the title on Naomi. Apparently it's a hometown. I don't really care about that because I didn't even realise it was a hometown until she mentioned it a month ago. But it was alright. There wasn't really much to it. It was only about 5 minutes. But I'm kind of getting a little bit bored of Alexa Bliss as champion. I think they need to mix it up a little bit because Alexa Bliss has kind of just been doing the same thing for the last few months about moaning that she has to defend her championship, cheating. She kind of just does the same things over and over again. So new champion, hopefully things change a little bit. Alright, here we go, main event time. I don't really know why this was the main event if they knew that Undertaker wasn't really in the greatest shape anymore. I mean, it should have been Brock Lesnar against Goldberg. I don't know why they changed it. Apparently it's because people were more interested in this match, but seeing how they booked the Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar match, that definitely should have been the main event because people fucking loved that match. That was energy intensified. That was intense. That should have ended the show on a huge, huge high. But this, I mean, Undertaker just wouldn't go down. He wouldn't go down. That's the story. He wouldn't go down. He didn't want to go down, but eventually he had to go down because he's getting old and he has to retire, which was so sad. I mean, this was just soul-crushing for both him and the fans watching at home, because it wasn't a good match. It was really bad. It was probably one of the worst main events at WrestleMania you're going to see, but that kind of told a beautiful story because he just can't wrestle anymore, and that's sad because you just saw the dead man die in this match here. And it was horrible. It was horrible, but it was really well done in a weird way. I don't really get it, but yeah, I think that's Undertaker's last and final match. I mean, he did put his gloves in the ring last year and we thought he was going to retire, but this time he bloody put the gloves, the cloak, and the hat in the ring. So that means he's bloody serious. But I don't know. I think this is it. After seeing that match, I don't think he can go again, which is horrible. Horrible. Tears did come out of my face a little bit, but yeah. I mean, I didn't even know what those things were. I've never seen them before. Did you cry as well? Does that make me feel alright? Let me know down below. But there you go. What do you feel about Roman Reigns technically ending The Undertaker's career at WrestleMania? It had to be at WrestleMania, but how do you feel? It's not a nice thought, is it? It's not a nice thought at all. Are you a fan of Roman Reigns? Are you happy he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania to end his career? I'm only going to be happy if this means he's turning heel, because if he doesn't turn heel, then they just try to make him a good guy. After beating Undertaker, after ending Undertaker's career, that would really be a load of bloody bollocks. So, I don't know. Roman Reigns beats Undertaker. I don't know if I'm annoyed or not annoyed. I mean, I've kind of forgotten about the fact it's Roman Reigns, because I'm more thinking about the fact that The Undertaker's retiring. But it's also not that great either. I mean, I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns, and for him to be the one to sort of have Undertaker's last match against, it's not a great feeling. And for the second year in a row, Roman Reigns has a crap match in the main event of WrestleMania. I mean, was this worse than the one last year? I think it was. I mean, his match against Brock at 31 was great. That was fucking awesome, but last year was bad. This one was even worse. I mean, that spot in the match where they were trying to do the tombstone reversal, that was shocking. I don't know whose fault that was, but it wasn't a pretty sight. And Undertaker, you're a fucking legend. Is he going to go in the Hall of Fame next year? I want to see him go in the Hall of Fame next year. That would be amazing. But I think he's done. And it's really sad. It's really sad. The biggest match of his career, the last match of his career, and it's his worst one probably, in the main event of WrestleMania, which is horrible. I mean, when should he have retired? Should he have retired after the streak? Should he have retired at 28 in the Hell in a Cell against Shawn Michaels? It's sad. It is actually genuinely sad. I was tearing up. It's not fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to give this WrestleMania an 8 out of 10. Shane against AJ Styles was fucking awesome. Brock against Goldberg was fucking awesome. The Hardy Boys are back. 5 new champions. Austin Aries against Neville was amazing. Seth Rollins against Triple H was pretty good. Overall, decent pay-per-view. Decent WrestleMania. I'm not sure where I'll rate it in terms of WrestleMania 17, WrestleMania 30. What would you guys say? I wouldn't say it was the best WrestleMania ever, but it was one of the best in the most recent years, I think. I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. Smash the likes. Comment your thoughts down below. Take care. Spike your hair.